Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to Shiva YouTube. Iyun Mitzion. Today we're analyzing Maaser Sheni Perek Daled Mishnah Yud. Mishnah Yud speaks about you find a container and it says the word korban. A korban is another way of saying hektish. And you find something inside of it. I don't know. You find some flour inside of it. You assume the container or the flour is hektish or both. So if the container is earthenware, so you assume it's like korban. We assume the hektish is what's inside. Cherish is not worth too much. It wouldn't be makdish to the base of Mikdash. If, however, you find a metallic utensil, which is more valuable, and said korban in it, we assume, according to Rabbi Yehuda, only the kli, only the utensil is considered hektish when it's inside of it. The grain inside of it is considered chulin. They're about to argue, and they say, "Ein derech b'nei adam lios kontan chulin lekorban derech b'nei adam." I would interpret that as the anhaga, the way people normally act, is that if they write korban on the kli, it's also what's inside. Obviously, they're makdish also the kli, but it's valuable. Also, what's inside, they're makdish also. So both the container and whatever's inside is considered to be hektish. So what's the machlokes between Yehuda and the Rabbanan? I want to say like this, that we pass like the Rabbanan. I'll explain the Rabbanan shita primarily. Is the Rabbanan hold that even though normally when it comes to mammon, to be motzi mammon from somebody, you need a proof. Now we explain other times that 80%, a rove is considered a proof, right? Sometimes you need either a button, you need a ruba, the isa kaman, a better proof, or you need a combination of the factors to be motzi mammon. Motzi mammon is very hard. You need a really proof, right? Beyond a reasonable doubt. However, hektish, yado al yona, when it comes to hektish, money that belongs to Hashem doesn't need so much proof, right? Hashem obviously needs some sort of proof, right? 50%, that's a suffix, but 70% or 65% is a suffix. So what kind of proof do you need? So that's what this mission addresses. The Rabbanan say, derech b'nei adam. Derech b'nei adam, I would say, is like derech eretz, which is like the anhag, a minhag. The minhag of people. A minhag is not as strong as a rope. Rope means that most of the people do this, or we can assume that most of the people do this. Anhaga is really like, I learned my first Iyun shiur from Koningsberg and YU, difference between a raya and a haga. Birur and a haga. Birur is clarification. Rov is birur. Anhaga is a minhag. Chazaka would be an example of anhaga. Chazaka is an assumption. Anhaga, a minhag, is an assumption. So that's good enough. 75% is an assumption. 75% proof is enough, even though it wouldn't be enough to Motzi Mammon. Hektish yado al yona belongs to Hashem. Hashem doesn't need so much proof. So therefore, even though the derech b'nei adam is obviously the container is metallic, it's worth something, so that is korban, but the anhaga, the chazaka, the assumption of 75% that also what's inside this korban is enough to put this aside as hektish, to say whatever's inside, the grain or whatever's inside is hektish, that we assume also is hektish, and that would be the conclusion of today's shiur, that when it comes to hektish and Maaser Sheni, I'll have to discuss more of Maaser Sheni is exactly like hektish or not, because it does belong to Hashem, but also it's in your reshus. Maybe going forward we'll talk more about is Maaser Sheni, how much is like hektish, but at least by hektish, what you're seeing in this Mishnah Yud, that anhaga assumption is good enough to determine that it belongs to hektish, more so than hamotzi mechel araya, when you're just being motzi mammon for somebody else. You need a stronger proof. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.